Welcome everybody, and now we're getting into section 6.6, vectors. This is just going through really kind of a physics standpoint. If you think of vectors, vectors are kind of like forces being applied. So if you imagine an airplane flying, it has a force going forward, but it has air resistance coming against it, gravity trying to pull it down. So really vectors are all around us, kind of going in different directions. Now, I'm going to start off actually with a video, and don't get too comfortable because this video is only a minute long, but I'm hoping that all of you have seen Despicable Me, and the evil villain in this video basically describes what a vector is, and he does it very quickly and very easily, and I'll get into the context of it, but let's go ahead and watch the video. Okay, that's enough of that. But real quick, the key thing that you should have picked up there is that he talks about how vectors are direction and magnitude. So the direction is just really kind of like the XY coordinate telling you where the direction's going. And the magnitude is just really like how long is that segment. And you can think of magnitude as more or less like Pythagorean theorem, and I'll get into the context. Let me go ahead and write out some of the key notes on this. So whenever I write a vector, usually you indicate it with a arrow on top. Just notice in the MyMathLabs though, they don't always do that. They just make it a bold U and a bold V. It's a different notation how they show it, but they're saying like vector U and vector V. That's the only difference with it. And usually what we write this as is AI plus BJ. And what that represents is the A component is just telling you how much is it moving left and right. So you can kind of think of this as like the A-axis. You shouldn't really call it that, but you can think of it that way. And the B is how much is it moving up and down, kind of like the Y-axis. Again, it's not really called that, but you can kind of think of it that way. The magnitude is indicated by these double bars. It looks like an absolute value, but just done twice. And really all it is, just like I said earlier, is this like Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared. And the reason why there's a square root, to get rid of the c squared, we take the square root of it. So if you look at a picture here, and I'm just going to make up one very quickly, you could kind of think of this as the a direction, this as the B direction, and basically the magnitude is going to be how long that segment is. Bad picture, but you'll see what's going on with this. All right, let's go ahead and get into the homework. And again, the homework will be very short and sweet. It's only 4 problems here. What they want you to do first is find the magnitude of U, find the magnitude of V. I'm actually going to enlarge the graph so I can kind of see U and V. This is U, this is V. Now, looking at this, they give you the point here. And what you could do, since they do give it to you on a graph, you could just easily count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's moved over 5. So vector U is 5i. And then it moves up 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like it moves up 4, and that would be plus 4j. Now you could do that in a later video. I'll get into like if you know the initial point and the terminal point, initial and the terminal, you can calculate it. So if we're just looking for the magnitude, again, think of this as just like Pythagorean theorem, 5 squared plus 4 squared. Now, I don't believe they want you to put decimal values into MyMathLab. You guys know how picky sometimes MyMathLab gets, but if you have any questions, definitely just say so. So 5 squared plus 4 squared. I'm just typing in the calculator here. Oh, dang it. Let me do that again. I get 41, the square root of 41. And if you go back over here, that's exactly what they want you to type here. So just the square root of 41, check answer, there's my solution. What's vector v? Well, just by chance, if you look at vector v, it's really going the same direction, just starting at a different location. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I moved over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 4. So really it's the exact same thing. There's nothing different about it. So it's the square root of 41. I think all of these end up to be the same values. Is u and v equal to each other? And for them to be equal, they're going to be going in the same direction and have the same magnitude. And as you can see, they do have the same magnitude. So yes, they are the exact same. All right, and if you look at question 2, waiting for my internet, I guess, they're going to start graphing and actually plotting these out. So when they say, what is the vector 3i plus 5j, you're looking for a vector that's really just moving 3 to the right and 5 up. So you're just looking for it in that direction, just like when you plot a point, 3, 5. So obviously it's not A, that one's going down. Could be B, looks like it's B. Not this one because it's going left, not this one because it's going down. So it is obviously B because it goes 3 to the right and 5 up. If you don't trust me, enlarge the graph, you can check your work. What's the magnitude? Well, again, what we're looking for with the magnitude, just here, let me get some more room. The magnitude is just the square root of 3 squared plus 5 squared. And again, I don't believe they want you to simplify things, so I'm going to keep it as 3 squared plus 5 squared. I got 34, so the square root of 34, go in here, square root of 34, check answer, perfect. And then that's it. This is really the exact same problem. I'm not going to do that one as well. And this one's really the exact same problem as well. Just note the negative direction. Negative is important here. So -7, -4, I'm looking for something that's going down to the left. And real quick, something that I noticed, usually we like to kind of start the vector at the origin. So this is not a very good representation of it. It starts at -7, -4, but it's going in an upward direction. And that's not really what the vector is stating there. This vector, the red dot, starts at the origin and it does go down in that direction. Let me just count that out. I want to make sure I got the -7, -4 correct. Actually, I believe might be this one. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, that's 7, 2, 4, and they do go down by that. So be careful. Make sure you check your work there. Check everything. What's the magnitude? Now, when we do the magnitude on this one, just notice how I write out the 7 and the 4. I don't even put the negatives because even when you take a negative squared, negative times negative is still a positive. So 7 squared plus 4 squared is 65. And so I'm going to write this as a square root of 65. Just be careful. I haven't got any problems that had this, but just in case, if you get a problem that says something like square root of 8, they may expect you to break that down to 2 square root of 2 if you have to rationalize it. You guys should be aware that this is 2 times 4, square root of 4, square root of 2, so the 2 that goes on the outside, that goes on the inside. So if you do get the square root and it's not the right answer, it might be because you have to rationalize it, but I haven't really got any of those problems like that today. All right, if you have any questions or concerns, we will be meeting on a regular basis, Mondays, Wednesdays. Here it is. Mondays and Wednesdays is period 1, 3, 5, and 7. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2, 4, and 6. Definitely, if you have any questions or concerns, you can text me and I will meet with you at your own convenience. Thank you. Have a good day.